What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good. Welcome to the Timeout with the with the Avant Bros. Excuse me, Trey doesn't like when I say Avant, so I'm gonna say the Avant Bros. You can follow us and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms. Just look up the Boca Raton Tribune and be sure to follow us on our Instagram, _timeout7. We have a very action-packed show packed for you today. So huddle up! It's time for a timeout. Trevor Ariza, after 3 years, is finally in a Miami Heat uniform. And all because Myers Leonard got sniped in a Warzone game.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's a great pickup for the Heat. I mean, obviously, we want a little bit more scoring, But Trevor Ariza, he's a good, solid 3-and-D guy. He fills in that Jay Crowder role. And we don't have Myers Leonard no more. So, I mean, that's a plus. And OKC, they're not going to have Myers Leonard anymore because he's not going to join the team. So his career is over. At least NBA career is over. He might have to go somewhere else, Europe or whatever, to play. So, I mean, hey, it may have worked out for both sides.
Honestly, he's probably going to sit in the house playing the game. And his basketball career is over. He didn't even do anything in Miami. I mean, he was really just a cheerleader on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he was just an overpaid cheerleader, in my opinion. But he's done. It's a good pickup from Miami. We do need somebody that could kind of be like a Jay Crowder. I think Mo Harkless was supposed to be like our substitute for him, and that was a very poor substitute, But Trevor Ariza, he's back. I believe protocol should have him cleared, I believe Tuesday to play. So
they said he was hopeful to play this weekend.
I thought it was gonna be Tuesday.
I'm not sure.
It might, man. You probably right. You're right. It's gonna be interesting to see. Jimmy Buckets has been hooping. Some fan pages, I know it's kind of like a fan page thing, but even a couple other people are saying that Jimmy Butler could potentially be a dark horse for Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe not win, but he should definitely be considered a candidate. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with him being dark horse for Defensive Player of the Year. I also agree with him being dark horse for MVP. Just the way the Heat have been struggling, and then the moment he starts playing, the Heat jump from like 13th in the East to 4th.
It's like that
within like 3 weeks. It's crazy.
So do you see? Go ahead.
Oh, so it's like, I mean, he should get more respect. He's not gonna get the respect because that's just how it is. But he's been playing phenomenal.
I agree. So Miami Heat is sitting at 22-19 right now. Makes them about, give or take, 5 games behind the third spot. Could you see them potentially breaking into the top 3 seed?
I don't even know who's the top 3 seeds right now, but I don't think so. I think they're probably gonna stay 4th until the rest of the season. Since 5 games, that's a pretty decent gap. So they'll probably stay 4th for a little while.
I can see it. I agree that when it comes down to it, it's Milwaukee's balling. They just got PJ Tucker, which is a really good pickup for them defensively. And they just got on, and they still have the Sixers, who's balling this year. It could really go either way, but I don't really see Miami breaking into the top 3. I feel like it honestly would be in our best interest to not be in the top 3, because this is where we were last year. We were a 4th seed last year, 4th or 5th seed, I want to say. And we went all the way to the finals. Not saying we could go to the finals. Not saying we're going to go to the finals again. But if the Miami Heat manages to get, LaMarcus Aldridge through the buyout market, and maybe even Victor Oladipo, I don't think it's too bad to say you could count yourself out. Count the Miami Heat out. I follow 5 Sports Five Reason Sports Network, something crazy like that. And these guys are accurate, and they're basically saying the same thing that the experts are saying, that Miami is still in a lot of GM's phones right now making these calls. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the future holds. I touched on it a little bit before. PJ Tucker going to the Milwaukee Bucks on Wednesday. He was traded on the same day as Myers Leonard. The Bucks traded for Tucker, Rodion's Kirkus, and the Bucks got their 2022 first round pick back in exchange for DJ Augustine, DJ Wilson, and the 2023 unprotected first round pick. How do you feel about this addition for the Bucks?
It definitely helps them. It doesn't help them that much, like offensively, but defensively definitely helps them. But it's not really a game changer per se. Like the Bucks, they need more. Like they're pretty much the same team as last year, and we see how that worked out for them. So I mean, their time is ticking. If they don't add a stud, like secondary scorer or at least third scorer, like behind Chris Middleton, it's not. They're not going to go far.
Like I said before, that Drew Holiday move was a chess move to keep Giannis from out of South Beach, or at least to keep Pat Riley away. It turned out to bite him in the foot. Like they're not winning anywhere. I don't really see them beating the Brooklyn Nets, to be honest. I don't see them beating the Boston Celtics. Respectfully, I don't see them beating Miami. Like that, like you said, that team has not changed much. It's still just Giannis. It's the Giannis show. And PJ is a really good defensive player, but offensively, he's not going to give them the spark they need to win. And ultimately, this team is not good enough to beat the Lakers. Like, no matter how good you are in the East, you still got to play LeBron James at the end of the season. So, good luck. Or worse, or maybe even worse, you might see the Clippers. Or the Suns, or maybe even the Mavericks. Like, these are the teams in the West that you could potentially be seeing. Like, you're not beating nobody, bro. Not with that squad. That's just me. But overall, I think the playoff picture is starting to shape up pretty good. Things are going in the order. Miami's had a pretty tough loss last night to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it was tragic. It was tragic, but I mean they'll bounce back. It's just a little loss to the Grizzlies that happens. So, but I mean, I know Justice is excited to come out there and play against us in Miami.
Obviously, absolutely. But it's crazy because I don't think anybody on that team really scored above 20. It really was a team effort to beat in Miami. I'm curious to see, going back to this topic, to see what else Miami could do. I've been hearing the talks about Kyle Lowry, a couple rumors about Karl Anthony Towns, Victor Oladipo. I mean, it seems like Miami is just calling about any player in the league and saying, okay, so what do y'all want to do? Like, I know y'all don't want this guy. Let me go and take him off your hands. Like Pat Riley's like hustle man right now. It's like, let me get him off your hands. Like that that's not gonna work. I mean, he's done. I respect Pat Riley. He's gonna make it happen. He's gonna make something else happen. If he's in GM's phones right now, I would be shocked to see that another move does not happen between now and then, because Pat Riley's in win now mode. He's showing every day I'm in win now mode. I want to win today. If he was talking about winning in the future, we wouldn't probably be making the aggressive moves that we're doing now. But my Pat Riley is like, I want to win tomorrow.
Me personally,
he wanted to win yesterday, so he's making calls since yesterday.
Me personally, I don't really feel like the Heat are gonna make any more moves from this point on. I mean, they got rid of Myers because they had to. But it's just the Heat. They always have these conversations, and the Heat are very reluctant to give up certain pieces, pieces that they know will help them get back to the championship. Like we could have got PJ Tucker, but the Heat refused to give up KZ, and it just be, what I'm saying, it backfired. He went to the Bucks. So it's just like I just don't feel like the Heat are not really going to be focused on trades that much anymore. They're just going to focus on buyouts. That's what they said with LaMarcus Aldridge. Like they were going to do the trade with like Goran and Kelly and some other players to get LaMarcus, but the Spurs were asking for a little too much, and they were like, "Yeah, you know what? We're just going to wait until he gets bought out. If no one else trades for him." So I just feel like he's just going to play the buyout market.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. The net reason why we did not do business with the Rockets because they wanted Duncan Robinson and or Tyler Hero. That's not going to happen. Like they were smoking crack if they were expecting that to happen. Like you're not going to get a future 25-night guy for PJ Tucker. That's just not going to happen. Pat Riley wants to win now, but he needs that piece right there to win. So like that would have been counterproductive at the end of the day. I have been hearing that Kelly Olynyk's name has been in a lot of trade packages. So teams are calling, whenever they're talking about trades, Kelly Olynyk's name is there. I just don't feel like Pat Riley is willing to give up said guys like LaMarcus Aldridge, give up Kelly for LaMarcus Aldridge. I feel like maybe he has an idea in his head that he wants to he may see in it with those two in the lineup potentially, which would be dangerous. A Kelly Olynyk and LaMarcus Aldridge lineup.
They will have no defense though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the only reason Kelly's playing good right now is because this is his contract year. He's trying to get one last big paycheck. You know how they said Kelly, he either play like Dirk Nowitzki or he played like Josh McRoberts. There's no in between.
None.
None. Or the other. And right now, he playing like a poor man's Dirk. But when he gets that big extension, Josh McRoberts all the way.
I don't think he's going to get an extension with Miami. I think Pat Riley probably going to let him go. It's just like it's too inconsistent. And like you hear the extremes you said, Dirk Nowitzki and Josh McRoberts. That's night and day. That's like you want to go to Target or you want to go to the dollar store. Like which one you want to do? Like you going to Neiman Marcus? You going to Kinko's? Like it's not gonna work. Like not Kinko's. A Kmart. Like you're not gonna do that. Like that's not gonna work. That's not gonna do it for you. Like. So I personally would want to see Kelly Olynyk get traded just because I know we're not gonna re-sign him, and we can at least get something for him because he does have some trade value. And putting him in a package together, maybe with Andre Iguodala and Kendrick Nunn would not only probably get us somebody pretty decent, but it'll alleviate a lot of stress on that cap space. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint as well. You might disagree, but I feel like that'd be a good move for us to go ahead and do.
No, I agree with you.
But I believe we have a commercial. You're watching the Timeout with the Avant Bros. Please enjoy if you're enjoying the show. Like and subscribe to our show. Hit that like button. Drop some comments on our Instagram. Participate in our story. We want to hear from you guys. We love you guys. And be sure to follow us on social media. Boca Raton Tribune and on Instagram, the _ Timeout7. See you in a bit. Shout out to you.
information. If it exists in writing, we print it. If it exists online, we update it. If it exists on mobile, we notify. If it exists in video, we show it. If it exists in audio, we play it. In the past, the news had to wait for a paper to print for it to happen. Today, news happens in real time. It's analyzed, edited, and published immediately by us, your neighbors, and of course, you. Wherever you are, you write, edit, give opinions, share photos, and make the news happen. This is why paper needs to be on print, on screen, and on your phone. Wherever you are, your news has its pulse in the community. The Boca Raton Tribune. We are much more than just a newspaper. We are your closest neighbor.
Welcome back to the Timeout, back to the huddles. Speaking of huddles, it'll be a lot of new faces in huddles this next football season. Let's start at the top. Ryan Fitzmagic is going back to his roots as a Buffalo Bill. That's wild to me. I could have
wait. No, it was a mistake. He's actually on the Washington football team.
I was about to say, when I saw it on the screen, like, wait a minute. Yeah, so he's going with the football team. That's going to be pretty good because what's his name? McLaurin is a pretty good receiver. He actually has like that guy now. So I mean, one of my friends was debating me earlier, and he said that he was better than DK.
I mean, that's up for debate. I wouldn't agree with that take, but I can understand why people would say that.
Okay, but here I wanted to disagree too. But then this is a very, very valid point. McLaurin had 1,000 yards last year with 3 different quarterbacks, all of which though completely different, have different styles. They're 3 different guys. This guy that he has now, he's a gunslinger. He's going to throw the ball. So, I mean, like, I think that he might be able to do something this year, honestly. Like, but between him, but the problem with DK, and I don't necessarily want to put this on Russ, it really goes back on their offensive line. Their offensive line sucks in Seattle. Like, Russ got rushed a lot last year, and he really got pressure, and it showed, especially in the postseason. So, it's going to be interesting to see, but I don't know. I think he kind of might be better than Loki. I think DK just has the physical attributes to make him seem better, but I don't think he necessarily is better when it comes down to just like being a wide receiver. Yeah, not your physical attributes.
McLaurin
is like the receiver.
You think McLaurin is more skilled?
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, yeah. I mean, Metcalf is still a little bit learning the game a little bit. Like, his route running is not the best. You know, his hands could be suspect at times. But, you know what I mean? When he's on, he's on. Like, when he's on, he's arguably the best receiver in the league. But it's just consistency.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's tough. It's really tough when you first come in the league. You have this massive stature, and you have these guys that's really putting their all in like when they guarding you, they really putting they back into it. Like, they really trying to like rough you up a little bit on those routes. His route running definitely could use some help, but I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I want to see what he does this year before I say this completely and say this with confidence that Lauren is better than him, but we're going to see. Trey Hendrickson is a Bengal. Dalvin Tomlinson is a Viking. Carl Lawson is a Jet. Bud Dupree is a Titan, which is scary with Jadeveon Clowney. That's pretty dangerous.
Well, Jadeveon's a free agent. They might not sign him. They might not re-sign him.
They're going to re-sign him. They'd be a fool to the reason why I say that is because they're probably going to re-sign him, bro. Like, why would they let him go? They just got Bud Dupree. That'd be dangerous. Like, could you imagine that Bud Dupree on one side and Jadeveon on the other?
It'd be deadly.
Like that's some pressure right there. That defense is busting. Like,
but Dupree's coming off ACL injury, so
yeah.
we gotta see how that works.
Yeah. Corey Lindsey is a Charger along with Yannick. Oh God, the Gua,
I think it's Ngaku.
Ngaku.
Yeah, Yannick Ngaku.
Yeah, Ngaku. Joe Thuney is a Chief. Matthew Judon is a Patriot. Jonnu Smith is also a Patriot, along with Nelson Aguilar. Bill Belichick dropped a bag this week. Like this week, like him and Robert Kraft was just like, "Hey, look, we're going into the cash app for this one. Like, we gonna have to dig it out." But okay, with this being said, what does this mean for Cam Newton?
I mean, he has no excuses now. They re-signed him to a 2-year deal. Before he had no receivers. Now he has receivers. So, and I mean, they never had to do this when they had Tom Brady. They never had to do this. Last year, they didn't have any cap space. They lost Tom Brady. It was just a rebuild year. Now they re-signed Cam Newton. They got him weapons. Now we got to see what happens. I mean, their defense is still trash, but now they got an offense somewhat. We got to see how that works. It's a bunch of new pieces. So we'll see how that works. It's honestly exciting.
Yeah. I just hate it because they're in our division. Like, them being in the Dolphins division is not what I wanted to see. This is not what I wanted to see at all. But I'm happy for Cam Newton. Corey Davis, he's now a New York Jet. And there's actually been reports that the Jets have been in contact with Juju Smith-Schuster. Like, I'm not saying the Jets are going to be a playoff contender next year, but Corey Davis, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Justin Fields in one offseason, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, especially considering they were going to be bad next year still, regardless of the fact, and they're still going to get another high pick. Like, that team for the future is pressure.
Yeah, but they still have a bunch more. They still got a lot more holes they need to fill. You know, yeah, they got some decent receivers, but you know, you got to see what you're gonna do with that quarterback situation. You gonna trade for Watson? You'll keep Darnold? You gonna draft Fields? Maybe Wilson? Who knows? You know, defense is still horrible, so you know, they got a lot of holes.
Yeah, I mean, the Watson thing, I don't really want to get into that, but that whole thing with them, Sam Darnold, I'm looking at this and like this. You guys just need to draft Sewell and let me have this team because you guys haven't given me anything for all of my time I've been here. And I feel like ultimately that's probably why they made those moves because they have not done anything for Sam since he's been there. In my opinion, let's let him ride. Let's see what he does this year. There's no need to trade for Deshaun Watson when you have a pretty good quarterback in Sam Darnold. There's no need to draft Justin Fields when you have Sam Darnold. But in the event you do, you can get Justin Fields, or you can like the aspect where they have set themselves up this year for the offseason and even for the draft is the power's in their hands. But the power's in their hands to either A, do something really good, or B, do something really dumb. And I really hope they don't do anything really dumb because they have the potential to be really good. They could be a really good team in the AFC. But Kevin Zettler is a Raven. Mitchell Trubisky is a Bill, which is really ugly. That was a very ugly signing.
Oh, you
I
said
don't know. You have Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean Mitch is the backup.
Mitch stinks.
But he's your backup.
He sucks.
Do you want to have like you expect a good backup?
Alex Smith is way better than Mitchell Trubisky.
But they didn't sign Alex Smith.
And that's the problem. Like, what are they doing? And then Andy Dalton's a bear. And he's telling them, "Oh, I'm your guy. I'm gonna be your starter." You stink. You really stink. Like, and I feel so bad for Allen Robinson because they just franchise tagged this man.
Well, actually, he didn't sign it. So
I hope not.
he's gonna request the trade soon. He has to. He didn't sign the franchise tag, and he was mad he had franchise tag last year.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to play for the Bears anymore. The quarterback situation is trash. He's been playing with trash quarterbacks his whole career. I mean, I don't blame him for not wanting to, play for the Bears anymore, especially with their uncertain quarterback situation.
Bro, the thing about the Bears is that I don't want to say they are a lost cause, but they're a lost cause. And I feel bad because they have the weapons there to be good. They do. But
I mean, that's why Russell Wilson wants to go there.
That's tough. That's so tough. I hate it for him, but he needs to demand a trade because Andy Dalton didn't do anything in Dallas when they had Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup. What's my boy name? CD Lamb. They had all these guys there, and he didn't do a thing with that. And Dak left them in pretty good hands. Dak got them pretty far. They were not that bad off. And they fumbled the bag tremendously. So,
But speaking of not fumbling the bag, my boy Taysom Hill, $140 million extension for a quarterback / running back / receiver / tight end / kick returner / gunners / head coach. Hey, but I mean, it's not really 140 million. It's avoidable somehow, and he's not really getting 140 million. I don't know how it works, but it works. Him and Jameis are gonna have to fight it out for that starting spot in New Orleans.
I mean, my thing is this with the Swiss Army knife. I personally thought at first that maybe this is a way for them to make a trade for Russ. Because their contracts, in essence, is similar, aside from the fact that Taysom's is voidable. You know what I'm saying? So I was saying maybe that could be a thing for them. Maybe like the Seahawks said, wow, we really like what Taysom Hill brings to the team. If y'all really want Russ, we'll take Taysom. Y'all already have Jason. Y'all already have Jameis. Worst comes to worst. But I don't know. I didn't see the point of giving that man that much money. I would have personally saved that and try to get somebody else, maybe get some extra receivers since they just lost Emmanuel Sanders this year too as well. And Jared Cook. So it wouldn't hurt to maybe put that money somewhere else. But that's just me. Curtis Samuel's a part of the Washington football team. That's a pretty interesting move. I like that a lot. Kyle Randolph is a Giant, and Shaquille Griffin and I believe his brother left too.
Yeah, Shaquem didn't get re-signed by the Seahawks, so he's right now. But Shaquille's on the Jaguars now.
Yep, it's the Griffin brothers. Kind of they've had the end of their stint in Seattle. That's interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see what Griffin does in Jacksonville. But at the end of the day, we just gotta wait and see. This is gonna be a very interesting football season. This year has been shows a lot of resemblance of the NBA free agency. I don't think I could ever recall NFL offseason being this active. This is, and I love to see it because these guys are making moves to the teams that could potentially be the benefit of their career, or in Mitchell Trubisky's case, the end of his career. Because he's not going to be at any burn unless Josh Allen gets hurt, barring any injuries, karma cap,
I would say last year, free agency was even more crazy. This year, it's just players taking shorter deals for lesser money since the cap space is not the same. Like Kenny Golladay, he's the best. He's probably the best receiver, maybe top 2 receiver in free agency right now, but he hasn't been signed yet. probably because he wants a fat deal. But teams are like, we don't have any money, and so he's still waiting. The Dolphins was talking to him, but they had to settle for Will Fuller.
Man, I think he wants to be looked at as the elite, as the elite receiver, and he's good. He's a really good receiver, but to be considered elite, I feel like he should have played more. Injuries definitely got in the way. I feel like a bit. He is kind of injury prone, but I like it. I still think he's a good guy. I would love to see him in Miami, but
They
he got to lower his asking price.
They said he's a high-paid Devontae Parker.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. But with auditioning in Miami, we can. I guess we can go ahead and move forward. Miami so far has added Isaiah Wilson, Benedict McKinney, Michael Pallardi, Sethan Carter, Malcolm Brown, Justin Coleman, Robert Foster, Adam Butler, Matt Sucre, Jacoby Brissett, and Will Fuller. Trey, I'm liking our odds next year, bro.
Honestly, bro, it's just I don't know where because we had a bunch of cap space, and then free agency starts, and our cap space is like gone. So we're just signing depth players. I don't know what happened. We're just signing depth players. We're releasing people, trading people, and I wanted us to go after a big name player. It didn't happen. The biggest name player we got was Will Fuller, which is good. He's a good player. He's definitely a really good player.
Jacoby Brissett.
He's not a bigger name than Will Fuller though.
Yes, he is.
And Will Fuller is actually going to start. Jacoby's not going to start.
Okay.
And to my point, yeah, Jacoby as well. Jacoby's a really good backup quarterback. He's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league, definitely.
The best.
Off the top of my head, probably maybe. He's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. Other than that, the Dolphins really just been signing a bunch of depth players. No one really stands out. I know can seriously help the team right now. Matt Sucre, he's gonna start because he's our only center on the team now. Matt Pallardi is our team's punter now, so we'll see how he does. But that's pretty much it. Dolphins haven't really impressed. But free agency is still young. We still sign other players, so we'll see what happens.
Definitely. We did lose Kyle Van Noy, Shaq Lawson, Fitzmagic, Ted Karayas, Camus, Krieger, Hill, and Matt Hack. We lost the guys, but I feel like at the end we gained a lot more. I feel like we got better this offseason, a little bit better than what people want to give credit for. A reason why I say that Jacoby Brissett was a really big pickup and arguably better than Will Fuller pickup is because if Tua's having a bad game, we can't act like Jacoby Brissett did not take over for Tom Brady at one point, and they were undefeated under him. They were good. Jacoby Brissett is not a bad QB by any stretch of the mile, and us picking him up is a lot. Is a really big thing. And let's not forget that he played. He was there when Brian Flores was the coach, one of the coaches in New England. He was a Patriot around the same time. So this is a really big move for Miami. I don't think people really understand how big this is. I do feel like now the Deshaun Watson chase has gone cold. We're probably not going to trade or be in the talks with the Texans anymore for Deshaun just because why? We have Tua to be in the future, and we have a really reliable backup and Brissett. So
yeah, but to counteract that, the Texans had signed Tyrod Taylor to a $12 million contract. That's very expensive for a backup quarterback. So it's very possible that it's very possible that they're definitely gonna trade Deshaun Watson, because why would you give a backup quarterback $12 million? That doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't mean that Deshaun's gonna get traded to the Dolphins. He can get traded somewhere else.
I agree. But at the end of the day, do you want Deshaun Watson or Tyrod Taylor? That's what I'm trying to say.
But I'm confused by your question. What does that mean?
Huh?
I'm confused by your question. What does that mean?
Do you want Deshaun Watson or do you want Tyrod Taylor to start QB?
I mean, I would assume you want Deshaun Watson.
Oh, I rest my case. That he's got Deshaun Watson's not moving. They don't want to trade him, and I feel
But
like
why don't you sign Tyrod to a $12 million deal to be a backup?
maybe they just have the money to give. Nobody else really wants to go there, and this is a 1-year deal, 12 M's. I mean, it's pricey, but at this point, these guys are just trying to stop the bleeding. So I don't know. I wouldn't have given him that much money, but hey, I'm not the GM either. But Deshaun Watson, he's having his own little personal issues right now, some legal issues. A couple women have come forward and say that he has assaulted them sexually. I read an article earlier saying the woman said that he aggressively asked him. He asked her to massage his inner quad area or thigh, and he was aggressive with it. And he was basically trying to force himself on her, and she blacked out and defecated on herself. This is still an ongoing thing. Deshaun, of course, he went to social media after the lawyer read a very questionable post, to say the least. It really didn't have much to do with the women that came forward or the case in general. He really said maybe like 5 lines dealing with the case, and then he started talking about, I'm a Marine. I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not intimidated by anybody. Like, okay, that doesn't tell us anything. But Deshaun went on ahead on record and said he didn't do it. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on this yet. Everything's hearsay. None of the ladies have come forward. I do feel like that is coming. They're probably going to change come time when time evolves. It's a very bad situation for Deshaun to be in, especially now since he has demanded a trade and he does not want to be there. If I'm a GM, this looks like red tape because not red tape. This just looks like a very bad situation to be in. Like, I don't want to trade for you and then you're getting suspended. And I lost, like in our case, I lost my future QB for a guy who can't even play or might not even be in the league anymore. So we'll see, and we will have more news for you here on the Timeout. That is for sure.
Definitely. But before we move on, I wanted to talk about something real quick. You know that new football league, the fan-controlled football league? You heard about it?
No,
They
I
got,
haven't.
it's a league where fans pretty much control every aspect of the game. They have Johnny Manziel and Josh Gordon on the same team. And I mean, it's fun to see. I think it's on Bleacher Report, I believe it is. And I had seen it was recent. Like at the end of the game, I think Johnny Manziel threw a game-winning touchdown pass to Josh Gordon, or at least I think it was Johnny Manziel that threw the pass. But I know it was definitely Josh Gordon that caught it.
Sheesh. I mean, it's good to see that those guys still get an opportunity to play football, though. Like, that is really dope that they still have an opportunity to play football. And maybe eventually this could be like a saving grace for these guys. You know, Johnny Manziel, I don't really care much about Johnny Manziel. I don't think he was that good. But Josh Gordon does have the potential to be a good NFL wide receiver. And I would love to see him come back and actually make a comeback in his career. But you gotta make decisions, man. You gotta leave childish ways with a child, and you gotta grow up. You know, I know it's a lot easier said than done with dealing with the demons he's dealing with, but if he wants to play football, that has to happen. But let's step out of bounds a bit. Tomorrow, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier drops on Disney Plus. All my superhero fans out there, I know we're ready for tomorrow. Trey, are you ready for tomorrow? I know I am.
I'm super hyped. I'm super excited. I was actually watching on HBO Max Zack Snyder's Justice League. I was watching that. It's 4 hours. Haven't finished it yet, but I'm at the end. But that's besides the point. I'm definitely excited for the Winter Soldier and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think it's gonna be better than WandaVision. It's gonna be a little bit more action packed. But WandaVision was nice. I'm not gonna lie. They're both going to be great shows, so it doesn't matter. But I like how it's shorter than WandaVision. It's like 6 episodes. So
Yeah. I mean, but look at it like this though. I feel like where COVID was a thing, I feel like it may have something to do with the recordings of the shows. You know, I've read around, been in a couple chat rooms talking with a couple guys that do this stuff, and they were talking about COVID shortened WandaVision. WandaVision was actually supposed to be, I think, 10 episodes, but due to COVID, it shortened it to 8. And perhaps maybe this is the same thing with the Winter Soldier, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't know how true that is, but it'll be interesting. But you brought up an interesting point. So how is that Justice League 4-hour cut? Like I didn't want to watch. It's like watching Roots. I'm not watching that like that long.
oh, it's amazing. Right now, it's amazing. It's definitely better than the original Justice League.
Really,
it's way better.
I'm gonna tap man. But let's go ahead to these hot takes. Trey, you have a very spicy one, and I would love to hear you defend this one. This is comical.
I believe that Saquon Barkley will win MVP. He looks up to Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson also tore his ACL a couple years ago, came back in like 6 months, and won MVP. Saquon Barkley, I feel like he's gonna do the same thing. They play the exact same way. You know, he's gonna be the focal point of that offense because who else they got? Daniel Jones. Come on now. So they're gonna run the offense through Saquon. He's gonna be nice and healthy. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ran for 2,000 yards.
You forgot about Kyle Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph doesn't factor into that.
Kyle Rudolph and Evan Ingram, they don't factor into that at all?
They do not at all.
Hey, man, that's spicy. I like it, though. I believe that the Miami Heat will probably not trade. I have trade down here, but I'm going to say sign Victor Oladipo and LaMarcus Aldridge. I feel like what we talked about earlier, LaMarcus Aldridge probably will end up being bought out of his contract because at this point they've established there's no going to be the future with them. But between LaMarcus and the Spurs anymore, that's not going to happen. And Victor Oladipo has made it very clear that he wants to be in South Beach. He did not take his extension with the Houston Rockets. So it's very possible. I mean, maybe he'll go to LA, but with him and Bam have such a good relationship, I definitely see him coming to Miami, playing with his friend. And LaMarcus Aldridge, if he is able to be bought out and signed to Miami, the push that we'll be able to make in the East is more than enough to get him to want to stay for longer. And especially with the addition with Trevor Ariza, Miami's almost looking like just as good as we did last year. But that's all we have today for our show. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Tweet. Be sure to also follow our Instagram at @the_timeout7. You can follow Trey at his Twitter.
Trayvon3.
And you can follow me on Instagram at ArcBuilderNoah and follow me on Twitter at WhoBuildsArcs. The Timeout airs every Thursday, 7 p.m. on your lovely channel of YouTube and Facebook. And like always, this is the Avant Bros signing out. Peace.